are back. As promised, thank you for staying with us. We are talking about green energy, and we'll be telling you why that is clean energy and why that concerns you, why that is important for you as a person and for all of us as a people. For this particular conversation, we are joined by an expert. We have Mathai, who is the CEO of Mathai Green Energy. So he'll be telling us more about it. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Yes. My name is Bernard Mathai. Like you said, I'm the founder of Mathai Green Energy, a company that was championed with help in mind. You know, like we need to reach out to people and talk to them about the energy and just giving back to the community and stuff. Yes.
Okay, so there's now the social impact, which is something unique I've seen about your company. So when you talk about giving back, what is it that you are doing to give back?
What you're doing, apart from normal sales and installation of solar panels and solar power and water heating systems and things like that in regards to the solar, we also go back and reach out to people who can't per se afford the solar energy. So yes, we go to schools in rural areas, we put lighting to and marketplaces, we do things like that.
Like for free?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's incredible, and we'll get back to that later.
Yeah.
But what is green energy when we're talking about green energy, and how is that clean energy and how is solar that?
Okay, that's a very interesting topic. When it comes to green energy, per se, what we mean is a clean energy, something that does not use fossils, something that does not pollute the air and things like that. So the reason why green energy is so important is because one, we get it for free. And then the next thing is because it's not regulated by anyone. So you can go like, you've used too much sun today. So that's one thing that's really interesting about the solar. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. So there's no limitations. Like God atasema pana, umekuwa na enough sun for today, and you're not paying for it. It's actually free.
Exactly.
But some people would say that solar is, expensive because they're looking at the installation. So why is it a better option, when a common man is looking at it?
Yeah. One is because apart from the initial investment, which is now you need to purchase now the equipments, the panels and the batteries and the inverters and things like that. Once you've done that, the next thing now you just enjoy it for free. Like there is no more any other time that someone will come and say you've used too much or
bills.
bills or vitu kama hizo. Yes.
Okay. We want to understand how this works.
Okay.
How this technology works.
Okay.
How is it that you're able to enjoy free energy in your house for months or years and on without paying for electricity bill? Of course, if you have the off-grid system, and you'll tell us about the different kind of systems that are there. But how is it that that technology works?
Okay. So what happens with the main component on solar is just the panel, something that receives receives the energy and then transmits into a usable energy. So what happens is that once we've harvested the energy, then we convert it into a usable energy, whereby you can just plug in your TV, you can do your lighting and things like that. So the reason why the solar is affordable, or it's the way to go, is because once you've done the initial investment, then that's it.
Okay.
Then that's it. Yes.
That's all you need, right?
Yes.
So how do you now tap? Because people know about the solar panels.
Yes.
I think that's one thing that people know. When you talk about solar, they think of the roof. It attracts the sun. But now, how is that energy now translated to energy that you can use in the house, the tapped energy?
Okay. What happens when it comes to the power that we use, be it from the grid, that is from the locally known as Kenya Power and stuff, that's what we term as the grid. So once you have the grid power, What's the difference is that this one you're getting it like from the sun. The other one you get it via is being generated maybe from the generators and stuff. The what's the name? Geothermal and stuff. You get so
Yeah.
yes. When it comes to solar in particular, the reason why it's so interesting is the fact that the it's so easy to get it. So easy to get it. Yes, yes, yes.
What about the different watts that come with it?
Okay.
The solar. I'm seeing here on your website, like there's 300 megawatts of solar installed. Those are the ones you've already installed.
Yes, now that's accumulatively what we've been able to do. Let's say like we come to your place and then we do a 5 kilowatt, we go to another place, we do a 10 kilowatt. So cumulatively, that's what we've done so far. Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
That's a great one.
Yes.
So, is there like I want to understand how you decide on how much a house needs, like how much panels, how much I don't know, inverters.
Yes.
What are some of the components that come with the solar system?
Oh, okay.
And then how do you decide that this house needs this much, this house needs this much? Yeah.
Okay. About electricity or currency, it's something, I mean, current, it's something that you can calculate. You can go like, we have 5 bulbs, we have security lights. So we do the calculation. We take maybe a bulb uses maybe 50 watts. We calculate and then accumulatively, and then we go like, for this home or for this business, it requires maybe to run maybe in a day, maybe it requires maybe around 3 kilowatts in a day. So we come up with a system. We have things like the solar panels. They are the main components. So what happens after the power is harvested, then we need a storage facility. The batteries now, that's where they come in.
The batteries.
Yes, the batteries. And then now, once you have the power, it's coming in and it's being stored, whereby when there is no sun, let's say like for example in the evening, you can use now the stored power to run the home. So how we come about with to know, like for example what power you need, just we do calculations. We have very professional engineers who come to your place or to your businesses or to your place of work. Then we do a survey on what it is that you need and your power needs. Then now we see how to go about it.
And are you able to tell the same just by looking at my history with the electricity bills, like how much I've been paying for electricity in my house?
Yes. Yes, we can use that one also to go like if you use, for example, let's say like 1,000 shillings for power, normal power. When it comes to solar, we can do a system that will be able to, cover all the things that you need in the house at a cheaper rate. Okay, because payback period when it comes to solar after initial investment is about 3 to 5 years. You should be able to get your money back, and then after 5 years, be using now the energy for free. Yes, yes.
So, okay. So, how much? Because 5 years is a long time again.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, how much then do you need? What is a basic amount for you to get solar in your house? And that's there are 2 systems, right?
Yes.
So there's the hybrid, the one that you're using solar,
Yes.
but you're also using the KPLC system, yeah? And then there's the off-grid system.
Yes.
So after 5 years, the payback, is it the one that you're completely off-grid, like you're just using solar?
When it comes to the payback period, totally depends again with investment, because you'd find a household whereby someone just needs just lighting pekake, and then they go like, when it comes to things like TVs and sound systems and security lights, then those ones they opt to use the Kenya
grid.
Power or the grid. So what happens is that we have 2 types of system. We have the off-grid, whereby you don't even have power lines, or when you have them, you just don't need them anymore. We have that one completely, whereby everything else is settled by the solar. And then we have the off-grid, whereby you can use solar partially, and partially use now the normal grid, whereby, let's say, for example, places like hospitals, when power goes off, there are systems that can't wait for power to come back. So they need to be running continuously. So that's where now you have now the backup, whereby once the sun goes out, just switches in automatically.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
Now, how much? What is the basic price? I know it depends. It varies.
Yes.
But what is like the least amount that you're likely to pay if you are installing, doing a solar installation, and how you putting it, and the first investment?
Again, just like you said, it totally depends, kabisa. This is the reason is because, again, there's someone who just needs just something so basic. You just need this, the lighting, just need this security. Unataka tu, when it comes to things like you don't want to go, let's say if you're working from home, you don't want to ever go like you come mteja or anything, or internet is not working. So for such, you need a small investment, 150, 200,000, you have your own system. Yes.
Okay.
And then it goes all the way, again, depending now with your needs and the households. Yes, yes.
Now, when we're talking about the off-grid system where you're completely off KPLC, and I understand that there's some gadgets in the house or systems that are too heavy on energy, and it might overwhelm the system. So what are this, or how do you go about it?
Again, it depends with the load that you require. And then if you have a heavy load, then you need heavier systems or bigger system that can support the load. Back in the day, we used to have systems which would not run on solar. Right now, at this day and age, we have almost everything else runs on solar.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
So
most things run on solar.
So if a house, like you have all the heavy loads, you have a washing machine, you're using an iron box.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm thinking those are the heavy loads. You're using a kettle, using all that. Can it all be sufficient under one system, solar system?
Yes.
That a heavy one?
Yes, yes. Totally doable. Because we have homes whereby there is no, the government came up with a last mile connectivity, whereby it hasn't per se reached every other home. So you still have homes which have not been able to, to tap into the normal grid. So such homes, they use purely solar. Everything about the home runs on solar. A system like a 5 kilowatt system can run a 3-bedroom, a 4-bedroom house comfortably. Yes, yes. The only thing that you won't use with solar is just the instant showers. That's
So
the only thing.
Oh,
yes.
It can't use solar.
Yes, yes.
But why is that?
Because instant showers, they use direct current. You get, and to avoid being electrocuted and things like that, also you don't
for
use.
safety purposes.
Yes, for safety purposes.
Okay, so
Yes,
that's
yes.
now that's a new one. I didn't
Yes.
know that you can't use instant showers.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you want to have an instant shower, you'll have to have a hybrid system.
If you want to have an instant shower, you can only use it with the grid. What we have when it comes to solar, we have boilers. We have solar boilers. I don't know if you've seen them. Some have tubes and stuff. Some have flat plates. But now once the sun hits those tubes, they boil them up and then they put them into this big. It's like a thermos inside. So it's the one that keeps the hot water hot. So whenever you need hot water, it just flows from the boiler.
So that makes sense. So if you're going solar, then you go all solar.
Yes.
And that includes getting the boilers, which also use solar, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's incredible.
Yes.
Great to know. Now, looking at that, and areas which have, so would you say first, who can? I'm looking at the common man. Are they able to get this easily for people who are in the villages? When you speak of like 150 being almost the cheapest, but that's for the most basic only lighting.
Yeah.
Are they really able to afford this, or is the government coming in to help? How is that?
The government really tried to help because they remove the VAT on all solar products, the green energy products. So we have like for instance in Kenya, Kenya is among the countries which are really striving to go green. We have over 80% reduction from government levies and things like that. So that's one thing that the government is really trying, because our products, they're not as expensive as in other countries whereby they don't have such measures put in place.
Okay.
Yes. So for a common mwananchi, it's very affordable. Again, depends with priorities and the needs that you have. Okay, because again, expensive is relevant. Okay, someone who can come and say, instead of doing for convenience purposes, let me give you an example. We had a scenario whereby we went to some rural areas, and then there was someone who had a medical emergency, so we took them to hospital. Then after the hospital, there were some drugs were given whereby they had to be stored in the refrigerator. Like it could not be used if it's not from the fridge. So you find such scenarios for the sake of the health and the mind, the peace of mind and things like that. You need a system that you can rely on. You get, and things like blackouts, they are normally they normally occur in places like rural areas more often than in urban areas.
Yeah,
Yes.
true. Okay. Now, what about because you have really spoken of it as being a safer option, especially when it comes to backup, consistency and all that. But someone would wonder, a place like Limuru where they rarely see the sun,
Yeah.
I'm also thinking of countries like Iceland. Some places are just cold,
Yeah.
and the sun, as we enjoy it here, is not. It's a luxury to them.
Yeah.
So how is it in such areas? Have you done in such areas, and is there technology that helps there or something?
Now, when it comes to such areas, the reason why we really love the technology, and so solar is basically just technology. So nowadays we've come up with panels which are really good when it comes to getting even the smallest amount of light can charge the batteries and stuff. Like you can rely on it.
Okay.
Like nowadays you don't need the heat from the sun. You just need the light. Once you
Or
have
the
the light,
light.
once the light hits the panels, you're good to go.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're guaranteed even,
Yes.
And how much can it? So even during the rainy season, like you're guaranteed that you'll still have light in your house because it's taking from the light.
Yes, that's very true. Even in rainy seasons, even in places which are very cold, like Limuru, like you said. Actually, in Limuru, we've installed several panels there. I mean, we've installed several sites for homes and even to businesses. So when it comes to things like when the weather is too harsh, let's say like when it's too cold. Again, our systems, let's say like the systems that we have nowadays, the hybrid systems and the likes, they are so good in such a way that even when there is not enough amount of light, for example, if there was a cloud for like 3 days, the system can still run up to 3 days without the sun at all. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's a really reliable option there. And someone might be wondering, how is this contributing to the climate action and us going green and all the initiatives that we have around there? So how is solar contributed to this?
Where solar is coming in is whereby, for example, we don't use fossil fuels. Let's like we don't use diesel. We don't need generators. They're the main things that really causes things like global warming and things like that.
Absolutely.
So once you go pure energy, clean energy with the solar, then things like environment pollution will become a thing of the past. If everyone else would just embrace solar, like for example, right now we're seeing vehicles coming in. I heard you mention in your previous segment, we have vehicles which are coming in which are electric. And by electric, most of them, they just use solar. Most of them, you'd see there are a lot of solar panels on top of any charging stations and things like that. So with such measures, we will find that we'll get out of this global warming slowly but surely.
Absolutely.
Yes, yes.
And on the screen there, you can see the affordable solar energy solution in Kenya. That's by Mathai, and that's how they look. Those are the solar panels. Just in case you haven't seen one before, but I doubt. I'm sure everyone has seen solar panels before. And yeah, so some of the photos will be scrolling even as we continue with the conversation. Now, how far have you gone in? Creating this impact in Kenya? Have you gone beyond? How many, what are some of the counties that have embraced this? Yeah, tell us about that.
One, the arid and the semi-arid areas, places like Kajiado, the western sides. Like at this day and age, most people are really embracing the solar energy and the solar power. Apart from reliability and the fact that it's affordable and available, those are some of the things which make people really run towards the solar. Among the impact that we've made, apart from giving back to the community when it comes to charitable things that we're doing, we really not only sell the connection and the panels and the inverters and the batteries. What we're doing is that we are putting an extra step by going towards the fact that we're making sure that everyone else is able to access the solar energy. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think that's incredible, especially the part that you're just giving back to the community. But I'm wondering, how are you able to do that? Because even if you're doing it, the services could be free, but you need to buy, these materials and everything. So how is that even sustainable to your company, which of course you need to be making profits?
Yes, we have friends and partners who really do come through for us. Like the governments, we're working with county governments, we're working with national governments when it comes to projects and stuff. So we just partner with people and go and do, let's say like if it's lighting of the streets, if it's lighting of the marketplaces and things like that.
Okay,
Yes,
and is this a better option? Because looking at Nairobi, we have a lot of areas where at night the street lights are a problem. You just don't understand where there was lights 2 days ago and we don't have them anymore.
Yeah.
And so it could be owed to the insecurities, because some of the cases were told that they were stolen and what. So is this a solution?
It is a solution, considering one, apart from initial investment, you're not paying for it. And it's something which is available and accessible everywhere. There's no part of Kenya you can go and be like, the sun doesn't reach here. You get so.
Yeah.
And yes. Under such circumstances, you're only seeing that some of these things, and once you've done, let's say like street lighting, you're guaranteed for up to 25 years of performance of up to 80%.
You've said 25 years?
Yes, 25 years. You do something like street lighting and things like that. 25 years, and it's something you buy. Some of these things, they're not as expensive as they used to be before. Yes. With the right connection, with the right people, you can really get really nice systems that are very affordable, right?
Okay.
Yes.
Now, when you look at the years that you've said you're guaranteed of, is there any maintenance involved? Like, do you just, once you've installed for you solar, that's it? Or is there some maintenance that needs to be done?
Yes. Fortunately or unfortunately, there are very slight or minor maintenance, including the panels. They can get dusty, especially if you're in a dusty area, and that can prevent the sun from hitting the panels. Let's say if you're talking of power and stuff. So we have maintenance, we have regular maintenance, again, depending on where the location of the site was. There are places that are quite dusty, and there are places whereby you can just do even a once in a year maintenance and you're good to go.
Okay.
Yes.
What about the batteries?
The batteries. Now, that's an interesting one, because we have The batteries don't really require a lot of maintenance per se, as long as it's being used with the right amount of input and output is matched, then it can really give you a long time, especially if you're going for things like lithium batteries. That one can guarantee you 5 to 20 years on lithium battery.
On the same battery
Yes,
for
on the same
all those
battery.
years?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, that's incredible.
Yeah, yeah.
But now, when we're talking about green energy and conserving the environment and climate action and whatnot, we know that for sure solar is a better option to diesel fuels and the fossil fuels. But lithium batteries, are they not environmentally hazardous, as it has been said in different spaces? So does it not undo what is already being done?
Looking at the pros and cons, every other thing that is being manufactured, that is being, mass produced or something of the sort, in the end it will have a repercussion, especially on the environments and things like that. However, that's why you find like at Mathai Green Energy, at the long run, what we're planning on doing is recycling some of these things. It's easier and cheaper than burning the fossil fuels.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
So it's a better option.
It is a better option.
Looking at
By far, it is a better
the
option.
pros and cons, we not get it all, but it's still a better option.
Yes,
Plus,
yes.
it stays for years, so yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Yes, yes.
Now, tell us about the licensing of engineers, because even as this is a new thing and people are embracing it, as you've said, so many people have ventured into it. It's a business, it's a, so even me, I would want to have a solar company, because I know that with the information that I've gathered already, I can do a lot. But why is it important even for clients to know who is actually coming to do the solar installation, and what are the downsides of not doing due diligence?
Okay, one is because power, when you're dealing with power, we're used to knowing steamer ni hatari, and solar is also part of steamer. So the fact that it's a dangerous thing, that's something that can light up your entire house. So it's something that you really need to be cautious about, especially when getting the right people to do the installation. You may have the money, you purchase everything, but when you don't do the due diligence, getting the right products and the right people to do the job, then you can go a very, very big loss in the end. So thanks to initiatives by the government, people like EPRA, they come and regulate even engineers and stuff, even companies. So you can just wake up and start a solar company tomorrow. You need to undergo a very serious scrutiny by the EPRA people. Also, you need to have your background papers when it comes to electricals and solar now, the technology itself, and things like that.
And what does that, but I'm asking from a background because there's a feature I was doing in a certain school, and they had done an installation, just a minor installation of solar, and it went south. And it's because they got people who are not licensed, I believe, or if they were licensed, I believe they were not licensed, because how would that happen? But anyway, how does the process look like, for you to get a license through EPRA?
The license is quite vigorous. You have to go through school. That's the first thing. You have to do a course on renewable energy. And then after that, you sit down with a panel from guys from EPRA. They sit you down, they ask you questions to see if you really know your craft. So yes, that's one thing that we can go like, it's one of the things that the regulators are really trying to do to make sure that we have the right people in the industry. Yes.
So not all engineers can actually do solar.
Yes, not all engineers can do solar.
Okay.
Yes.
That is at least that is a relief. So you need to do diligence. Say, I know someone who can do it at a cheaper price.
Exactly.
You just need to get the right person.
Exactly.
If you love your house.
Yes.
And so how we've talked about houses, but I also companies taking this up.
Yeah. When it comes to companies are really coming into solar energy because it's cheaper it's way much cheaper. Especially things like company, you know them, most of them, they run during the day.
Yeah.
So during the day, there is enough and sufficient lighting. So you don't even need now the backup batteries and stuff. You just need the solar panels, the inverters, and then you're good to go. Yes, yes.
Absolutely amazing. Even as we come to a close, I'd want to know, like, what inspired you to start this company? When did you start it, and what was the inspiration?
The inspiration comes from one Wangari Maathai. I don't
So
know if
hence,
I don't know if it runs with the name Maathai and Maathai. So the fact that she was into the green belt movement, she really championed for environment and clean energy and things like that. So we took it up from there, and then we formed a company. And apart from that, we also just following her footsteps. We're starting a foundation on the same. We are sponsoring schools and putting up lighting to courts, basketball courts. Like there's a basketball court we are planning on doing solar lightings and stuff. And then we go to rural schools and just give them light. Light can really do a lot when it comes to people like students,
yeah,
like marketplaces and things like that. We look at security, look at convenience, look at right now we're in the era of technology. You need to be online all the time. You get to control be it your clients and things like that. You just need to be on toes when it comes to power and things like that.
because we can't talk about digital connectivity if you're not connected to light in the first place. So
Exactly.
opportunities pass them, and it's amazing what you're doing with the foundation. So how does that foundation work? Do you just get people yourself, or do you have them applying for you to come and assist?
So far, what we've been doing, we've been identifying the people who are really in need of the services that we offer, and then also we match them with what we have. Literally, like if we have partners who are coming in, we would have partners who would come in and just go like, we'll provide lighting only. We'll have partners who will go like, we can do lighting and we can do a screen, we can do lighting and CCTVs, we can do lighting and things like that. So depending we have a schedule on what it is that we plan on doing, but apart from that also we have people who apply online. They come to our website, they go to let's say for example, if you have someone who's really in need of these services that they really can't afford, so some people apply, some people we reach out to, and others we just partner with things like the government, and they go like they lead us in places whereby we really need it, and we go and provide the services.
Okay,
Yes.
tremendous.
Yes, yes.
Now, finally, for people who are looking into business, because we also talk about entrepreneurship today. So for people who are looking into getting into business, what are some of the fundamental things that you would give them as advice?
The main thing that I really stand by is your word. Your word should really mean something. When you promise to deliver, you make sure you deliver. Because sometimes in life we don't get second chances, and sometimes in life chances comes once, and once it comes, once you mess it up, then that's it. But once you do a good job, trust you me, someone else will be referred to you, and another person, and another person. Before you know it, you have an entire company of trusted workers, you have an entire reputation and things like that. So yeah, your reputation should really mean something, and your word should be your bond.
Absolutely
Yes,
amazing.
yes, yes.
What about starting? Because people find it hard to start because they don't have enough, or they don't believe in themselves enough. So what about starting?
At this day and age, surely, as long as you can get online, you can do so many businesses. You get so.
Yeah.
I tend to feel like most people just come up with excuses. I don't have enough capital. I don't have enough funding. I don't have enough, and there's always something that you would be lacking somewhere at some point in life. So what you just do, just start whatever it is that you're passionate about. Just start it. And I also believe in God. I believe in God. Once you put your plans in order, and then you involve God and things like that, He comes through.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Yes, yes.
A great way to close it. Once again, where can people find you on the socials or your website if they want your services or want to apply maybe for assistance?
Okay, you can reach to us via our website www.mathienergy.org. Also on our socials, Mathai Green Energy, and you can call us directly on 07. I can give out my number.
Yeah, sure.
Sure. Okay. Number is 0720 818 779. 0720 818 779. That's our direct line. We have a very, very reliable and efficient customer service. We'll get back to you on time. And yes, let's begin this journey as soon as possible.
Absolutely amazing.
Yes.
And you can, anywhere in Kenya, you are reachable, right?
Yes, yes, we are reachable. We our services, we expand them across not only Kenya but also in East Africa. So yes, yes, anywhere within East Africa you can reach us and we can come and set you up.
Okay.
Yes.
There we have it. That is Mathai, and it's actually Bernard. Bernard?
Bernard Mathai.
Bernard Mathai,
Yes,
yes.
yes, yes.
And here are some of the photos of what they're about, and I'll just have them scroll. Right before we finish, we've been talking about renewable energy, green energy, and why that's clean energy. And he has given us a lot on why this is beneficial, not just to you, but to environment conservation and to climate action. So be sure to follow them on their social media platforms. I hope you've been educated and empowered by this. Thank you for staying with us through this conversation. Always a great time. We're going to take a short break, and then Brian Sako will be coming up with the next conversation. Stay with us.